So they get into that, underwater universe where everything is corrupt and everything is evil. They want to be there. That's the thing that people aren't willing to accept. They want to be there. That's where, they thrive. It's like a certain kind of an insect. You've got to put that insect in a swamp, and it's got to be warm, and so on and so forth. And it's got to have a lot of, junk there. And
it's their environment, and they want to turn the world into their hell they're comfortable in.
Exactly. Because when they look outside the swamp and they see there are people moving around, living their lives, reasonably satisfied or even very happy or whatever, they can't stand that because that's the reflection.
Because our souls are bigger and stronger than theirs, but we don't seek the power, so they see us as a rival and a threat. That's why they want to dominate us. That is the key to their entire system. When I say the good Illuminati versus the bad Illuminati just means enlightened, light, freedom. God's the light, folks. They're the false light, so they call it the Illuminati, but they're not bringing light. They're not bringing enlightenment. They've created the Illuminati to take over the Renaissance that was the true enlightenment, that was the true power, that was the real original Christians before the establishment church. And that's what 1776 and all of it was, folks. And there's a battle between those two forces. The problem is, since they took it over after Washington's death, they've exterminated the original Enlightenment leadership, folks. They're gone. But we have to take it back up against them. Reverend, I'm sorry I'm ranting. This is just getting too heavy for me.
Okay. When I was, I guess it was 19, I read Dostoevsky's novel, The Idiot. That's a perfect image of what I'm talking about here. Because here was just an innocent guy, and he fell into the complete corruption of the Russian aristocracy at the time. And when those terminally corrupt people looked at him, they saw a reflection of what they could never be. Because they were ensconced in evil and manipulation and so forth. And there was some little tiny piece of their soul that was still aware and awake that this character was, a kind of a shining light that they could never have, they would never have. And so their only motivation after a certain point became destroy him. So it's the same thing with these people. They look out at the world and they see something they can never have because they have entered into the swamp. That's where they live, underwater. That's where they want to live. That's where they're comfortable. But they can still see out enough to know that they can never have the one thing that they really would desire, so they have to kill it.
It's the same allegory of Sleeping Beauty. These archetypes tell us the truth, where the witch
purchase your tracks today.
They hide them, then they stick the kids back out. She gets happily married, and what she hates is the man, the woman, the family loving each other, prosperity. She comes down off her big mountain as a dragon to try to kill everybody.
Exactly. Kill the innocent because they represent what you can never have, the thing that you want. And that's what they're living with, these people. So they have to keep on lying and getting to greater level of committing crimes and getting to a greater level of power so that they can wreak their revenge and do more destruction. And that's where
revenge is just on us, not
purchase your tracks today.
Exactly, that's all it is. You're not where I am, so I have to kill you. And when you put it that way, or when I put it that way, you see how completely insane it is, but that's the formula on which they're operating.
What do you think of their minions? What's wrong with their minions? Their minions aren't really evil on average. How do they follow such idiots?
Yeah. Well, they're completely deluded, for one thing. A lot of them are true believers, which means that they see in, say, for example, Hillary, something
purchase your tracks
that
today.
they aspire to, or they believe is good because they are true believers. And you see this in every age, every era in society, the history of the planet. Some complete tyrant who has an enormous number of not just soldiers, but sycophants and admirers and so forth, who don't see what's actually there. They see what they want to see. And then you have the wheedling, corrupt, manipulating courtiers at court, as in the old monarchies and so forth, that are always maneuvering for a better position. That's where they want to live. They want
Purchase
to be
your
in a
tracks
situation
today.
where there is a single power at the top, and that they can maneuver, manipulate, scheme, and connive their way, and see how high they can get.
Stay there, incredible, absolutely on target. John Rappaport, the deep secrets here. This is how it really works. But it's not secrets at all. It's prima facie. It's a conquest economy, a crony economy, not an economy based on your literature, your art, what you built, what you grew, what you did, that your family's known for telling the truth, that you do what you say you're going to do. That's the chivalrous Renaissance economy of innovation. You're too close to it, probably you don't see it. That lonely blind spot. And that's the trigger of the break. You know, it sounds dramatic, but I'm having an anxiety attack. I don't really have those. Other than like, you get a call from, wherever you hear your kids been hurt or something, you have an anxiety attack for 30 seconds. It's more of like this nausea, frustration, and, the Clintons ruling over us, knowing more evil's coming. And the crew was like, no, that makes more sense than a lot of stuff you say. So I'm glad folks get where I'm coming from. I'm not being dramatic. This is real. We're not up here trying to put a bad face on this to have fun. We're putting a real face on this to get people to wake up to stop it. Now, I'm getting the BuzzFeed. I think one of your intercoms is on. Just so you know, I can tell the channel's up. No big deal. It's just at a certain point, you just calmly go each day. You got it, thanks. To just calmly go along each day, like I'm talking about the price of tomatoes or something, and I'm a farm reporter. Oh, look, Storeenvy on the U.S. Mercantile Stock Exchange. Oh, look, world economy's imploding. Top banks say death spiral. Sell everything you have. Oh, no big deal. Oh, look, the government knew they were shipping in actual ISIS into Europe. German intelligence. Okay, German spy chief. ISIS is sending terrorists to Europe. Disguised as refugees. I mean, ISIS said that February of last year, 1 year ago. Actually, 1 year ago tomorrow, on the 6th. Code 291, Swedish police cover up thousands of crimes involving refugees. It goes on and on. Russia simulated nuclear strike against Sweden, NATO admits. Army and Marine Corps chiefs, it's time for women to register for draft. I've got 2 daughters. That fundamentally makes me instantly want to drug and punch somebody in the nose. And then I realized getting angry is normal. I am not in the trance. I am not brainwashed. I am sick of it. And I'm sick of the Clintons with all their crimes, getting away with all of them. The fact that there's no criminals. I mean, if I was dealing with Obama in 15 years again and facing the prospect that 8 years of that, and the way things are moving now with Democrats admitting they're trying to pass martial law bills in Congress to make the president God. And the Republicans are behind it. I mean, what are they planning? What's so big? I can feel, not just intellectually or geopolitically, see I'm right, but I can feel my gut going, no, Alex, it's worse than you're saying. I've never been like this. I rant and rave to release steam, but I'm telling you, John Rappaport, NoMoreFakeNews.com, author, great info at his site, folks. Check it out today. Piercing insight, as I say. You really do have it. Are you feeling the energy level rise, both positive and negative? But I mean, now I almost feel like something really evil rising, though, in the midst of it. I've been feeling a lot of positive energy and seeing it, but now I feel like the gates of hell have been opened or something. I'm feeling a new energy enter the country and the world that is just really bad. I mean, it's bad. It's death, Rappaport. Are you seeing that?
I'm getting a very weird feeling about the presidential season, Alex. It's sort of taken a different kind of a turn. I'm looking across the board at the possibilities and who's getting pushed to the front and who's getting pushed to the back. And I'm seeing, there's Hillary. There she is. She's got 500 delegates, super delegates already locked up. These are the people that are not affected by the primaries, that just walk into the nominating convention and cast a vote for her. And if that's the case, here she comes. And then whoever the Republicans put up, who's it going to really be when all is said and done? And how easy is it going to be for her to just kind of roll over everybody with her?
Or hell, she'll just blow their airplane up. She doesn't care.
and then she's president. You know, and then here comes the revenge. You know, so yeah, I see the weird twisting that's happening in this presidential campaign. I see it over and over again. And it's not a good thing. It's a really bad thing. It's
You know, you've been an investigative journalist for big papers, done investigative journalism for major TV magazines. I mean, you're an investigative journalist first and foremost. In your 40 years, or correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's 40-something years as a journalist, have you ever seen such a crazy climate?
Oh, absolutely not. Are you kidding? No. It gets bigger and worse and stranger all the time. You know, the antidote to that is that so many people wake up that they just stop giving their informed consent. I mean, that's the ultimate antidote, is that people see, okay, this is spinning completely out of control. This isn't even a good imitation of what the Republic is supposed to be. You know, this is like a bad, you know, horror movie on a small budget. I mean, they aren't even trying to make it seem real anymore. It's just right out in the open.
And it's not like it's some group that just wants to skim money but still wants the country to do well. I'd fight that because it always leads to worse corruption like we see now, but this is like hardcore. Your kids are ours. We're taking your guns. We're bringing in ISIS. We're putting poison in your water. We're going to forcibly shoot you up. We're going to make you eat GMO. We hate you. I mean, it's just so evil.
Yeah, that's the theme. That's what it feels like. The gloves are off, okay? For a while, we were pretending that, you know, this is a really good thing that we're doing, and we still talk that talk, but really, it doesn't matter anymore. All that you need to know is you're going to put all of your loyalty in us, because once we get there, you have no other choice.
And then we know getting there is worse. Cashless society, shutting off our food, totally enslaving us. We're being taken into the dungeon. They told us they were taking us to a candy stand. We're a 5-year-old kid, and now they're putting chains on our arms. Now we realize, oh, really? We really are in a psycho's dungeon.
You know, once I was testifying in front of a subcommittee in Nevada about antidepressant drugs and violence in children, because they had a school shooting out there. And I was sitting in the subcommittee room. This was a state legislature in Nevada, about which I knew. They're the representatives, right?
Go back 10 seconds. Your Skype just blurred. Repeat what you just said.
Okay. So I'm sitting in this committee room looking at these representatives there at this legislative hearing, just trying to get a read and a feel for what's going on. And then all of a sudden, a woman enters the room, and I find out she is the Attorney General of the state of Nevada. And all of a sudden, all these representatives are, you know, gathering around her like little creatures, you know, to get their little piece of goodwill, or that she would smile at them or engage in conversation with them. And then she tells an anecdote about Bill Clinton coming to town, and this and that, a higher power, you know, and everybody's laughing, upset.
You were watching minion sprites hopping around the goblin, and then the goblin told you of a dragon king, and they exactly. It's hierarchical. Ooh.
Exactly.
They're minions.
That's what it is. You see, that's it. That's it. That's the story. So that's how you can have this bureaucracy in Washington and other places, in all the state capitals, even in, you know, cities, wherever, you know, that are just gobbling up everything, because that's what these people do. They just kind of hang around, and they just kind of attach themselves like little leeches and barnacles and creatures to the next person up the line, and they on and on and on, all the way to the top. And the person who's at the top, and this was something that I realized too when I was sitting in that legislative room, the person at the top feels that. All the, you know,
the worship.
All pyramid, all the way down. So if
like a Greek god doesn't exist unless they're worshipped. They're becoming a god in their own mind, in their own egomania.
Exactly. They can feel all that. And it's not just an illusion. It's it's real because everybody's in that universe. Everybody's playing that. Everybody's doing that. So, you know, you look at the old French courts. I don't know, what did you have? A couple hundred people that were vying for attention. I mean, now you've got 1 million people, more than 1 million, millions of people inside government bureaucracies that are just feeding this kind of vile energy all the way up the line to the top. And then you have the president steps out on a platform and looks down at all of this like some sort of, God at the top of the pyramid looking down and says, this is my kingdom. This is my empire. This is what I've got. And all these people owe me, and they must do what I say they will do. I mean, wow, that's an awesome amount of corruption.
But then none of them are producers. They have to go out then and find somebody as a vampire to siphon blood off, and then go give it to their god, and we don't have any blood left. So they bring in Bernie saying, chop everybody's heads off, that'll give us more blood. And then all these little spoiled minions that are the next generation of the system, they're going, yes, blood, blood. I mean, have you seen the interviews we've done and Mark Dice have done? We don't edit these. We will show every person we talk to.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And they actually, 9 out of 10 say, put gun owners in forced labor camps or kill them. They say, collect Karl Marx. They say the most vile evil you can imagine, and they actually think they're good. But the weird paradox was, used to a slayer that was in an army of, say, centurions going out to dominate and kill had to fight men to at least take it. Now, it's just little bots of jello all just going around going, evil, your blood is hard. And they don't even have any strength to take it. We all just roll over in a trance and give it to them.
Yeah.
So it's an army of slugs of ruling over us.
And many of them are college slugs now. You know, and I was just talking to somebody about this. You will now get people, most of the people who get to the college level can't even be taught anymore because they weren't prepared enough. They weren't educated. Nobody bothered. Nobody really cared, and nobody put it to them. Look, you're here to learn this. You got to learn something, understand? You know? So none of that happened. All they were taught were values and slogans and mottos and all kinds of cheap kind of idealism, ridiculous stuff. And then they arrive at colleges. Professors, even the good ones, take one look around and want to just run into the night.
It's just intellectual tinfoil. It's like Mardi Gras beads. There's no value, and all they do is just throw up stuff. Martin Luther King's racist. Pull him down now. Have you heard about that?
Yeah,
you know, I mean,
exactly.
It's just mindlessness.
Sure. So, you know, what do you think these kids are going to do? They're just going to attach themselves to the latest piece of corruption, you know, and they're going to say, well, we want to be part of this. We want to be part of this because we don't have anything else. So this is the minion phenomenon in all of its glory. It stretches out to so many dimensions of society.
This is the end of the individual. This is the end of free will. This is the rise of just stupid, dumb, drooling, mindless servants who won't even know they're being commanded headlong off cliffs by their gods, by their psycho gods.
And even in the intellectual class, you go into these giant research labs like the National Institutes of Health or something. And what do you have? You have highly educated researchers who are doing the same thing. They're reaching out for the next little grant money. They're reaching out for the next little project, the next little promotion, appointment status.
And they're so selfish, they're planning that next vacation perfectly, and they hate all their underlings and tell them they're all stupid and love to go before the dean and grovel. And, oh, can I be Bill Gates when he comes to town? They're so empty.
Right. And this is, I mean, we're talking about thousands and thousands of employees, right? And so National Security Agency, the CIA, I mean, FDA, keep multiplying IRS, and you have the same thing. You know, what's the biggest media outlet? What's the word? What's supposed to be? How am I supposed to behave? How do I react? How can I, mince my way a little bit?
And there's new downloads every week now of how you're supposed to behave as they change the language and how you're supposed to conform to prove you're a servant of Sora.
Yeah, exactly. So you get the latest directive and okay, this is what I'm supposed to do now. too many ways for them to stop it. But it all depends on that, because they are aiming to completely destroy not only the individual, but the concept of the individual.
Exactly. And people point at this and they say, it's screwing everything up. Why would they want to hurt the money-making? Folks, the globalists control the issue of currency credit. It's like Mao's override of China, killing 84 million people. It wasn't a failure. David Rockefeller, when he died, when Mao died, wrote the New York Times article praising him, saying it worked wonderfully. Now Mao followed his program. So that's the issue. You can read that article. It's online. This is what they want. They want to end the old system. And the old system isn't perfect, but what they're bringing in is the most dishonorable, anti-human, anti-liberal. That's what makes me maddest, John, is I love Thomas Jefferson. I'm a real liberal. I'm tolerant, live and let live. I really, to a point, I'm a Christian. I'm somewhat conservative at the same time. I make some of my conservative audience mad because I am so libertarian. But that's just who I am. I'm fundamentally that way. I don't look down my nose like a Pharisee because of what somebody does in their bedroom. But then the people that are in a bedroom that I'm not even attacking say, you have kids and you're a man and you got to give that up. They want to destroy who I am. And so that's what's so crazy is that it's a weird cult claiming it's liberal, but liberal means you accept everybody, but you keep your identity. They say, no, we tell you what to accept and you give up your identity. Well, that's the bull. That's not liberal.
Exactly. There are armies of sociologists out there that have infiltrated universities, and really their whole theme is the individual doesn't exist at all. That was always a hallucination. I mean, I'm serious about this. I've got a quote from a guy.
No, they admit it. They say, get rid of that. Trick people, they have no will, then your will is there. But let me tell you, those sociologists from the CIA, they got will.
You bet. And then you find somebody, who struggles their way, works their way, whatever they do. They appear to get to the top in some way, and then they turn around and they say, I don't want anybody else to get to the top. So however I got to the top, that's now off the table. What I want now is control of what everybody can do and can't do because I'm at the top.
Let's come back and talk about that, which I'm before. And then there's another paradigm. People are so programmed, you try to lift them up, they then think you must secretly need them and get angry at them. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this segment and then throw it to Rob Du, who's going to have good old Richard Reeves from New Hampshire and all that news coming up in the fourth hour. We do 3 hours. Alex Jones, an hour, one of our great researchers, anchors here, broadcasting worldwide. They'll be back this Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. But just briefly, built up, doing well. In fact, you can have anything you want, just don't take it from me. Quote, the jungle. Well, that's the jungle. I'll be throwing that any day. But briefly, the system is suppressing our normal hormones, our normal actions, our normal behaviors. And with the proper nutrients, the proper vitamins, you cannot completely reverse everything that's happened, but you can certainly wake up in a different world and they'd like you to. And so we treat others as we like to be treated. We are being separated from our humanity. And part of that's our own development, part of that's artificial. But everything they do is to do that. I think so much of it is that the artificiality allows people to believe the larger lies that are intensifying. What do you think the few secrets are in the 4 minutes we have left, or 3 minutes, to break free at the beginning, like a little chicken coming out of an egg with our egg tooth, into a wider world? How do we come out of Plato's cave?
Person's got to ask himself, what do I believe? What's my conviction? That word conviction doesn't have anything to do with prison, although that's the way it's used now. What's your convictions? What are the basic convictions that you have? And then what are you going to do about it? If a person sets out on that road, they are going to arrive somewhere important.
That's where the power's at.
That's where it is. Exactly.
And if you don't seek the power and do it with a pure heart, you will get the power.
Yeah, you'll get somebody else's power if you don't find your own. That's for sure. That's the way it works out. So to me, that's where it starts.